So welcome everyone to Ohev Shalom's first annual 30th anniversary gala dinner.
From its humble beginnings in the Rodin family's living room, the Rabbi and Rebbitzin have built the shul into the multinational organization it is today.
Ohev Shalom has the distinction of not only having had an African-American president, but has also had 6 consecutive Jewish presidents.
And in a very timely piece of news, the shul also has the distinction of having a president named Donald, well before the United States. But most important, we have been privileged to have a president who has been a national yo-yo champion.
So the rabbi was late on his rounds for Bikur Cholim at Medical City, and he went straight to Mrs. Gold's room. And he sat down in the chair next to her bed, and after he had said a few words of encouragement to her, she began to talk about her day. And whilst he was listening, he noticed a small bowl of peanuts next to her. So he interrupted her and asked her, would she mind if he took a few peanuts?
No, of course not, she replied, and continued talking at length about her day.
So a few minutes later, Rabbi Rodin interrupted her again and said, Mrs. Gold, I'm sorry, but I've eaten almost all of your peanuts.
Mrs. Gold smiled at him and said, don't worry about it, Rabbi. I don't eat peanuts. I just like to nibble the chocolate off them.
This is yours.
Okay, so we'll do
Please join us.
As we mentioned earlier, Ohev Shalom has grown quite considerably in the last 30 years, from humble beginnings in a living room to its present location on McCallum and Hillcrest. And we thought about that. There's been quite an amount of growth over the last few years. And next to me is Larry Shafran, Dr. Larry Shafran, who is the Gabbai Emeritus of Ohev Shalom. Larry, as Gabbai, you are familiar with all of the people in Shul. You know, I know that there's a lot of new people in Shul. I have a hard time keeping up with all of these names. You know, I'd like to know who are the names of the new people in Shul.
You know, and strange as it may seem, some of our members have very peculiar names.
You mean like funny names?
That's right. Now in Shul, who's a Kohen, what's a Levi, and I don't know is a Yisrael.
That's what I want to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the members of Ohev Shalom.
So I'm telling you, who's a Kohen, what's a Levi, and I don't know is a Yisrael.
Do you know their names?
Yes.
Well then, who's a Kohen?
Yes.
I mean, what's the guy's name?
Who?
The guy who gets the first aliyah.
Who?
The guy called up first.
Who is the Kohen?
What are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Who is a Kohen?
I'm asking you. Who is the Kohen?
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Okay, let's try something different. When you give an aliyah to the Kohen, who makes the donation?
That's right, every dollar of it. And why not? The man's made a donation.
Who has?
Yes.
So, who makes it?
Why shouldn't he? Well, sometimes his wife goes to the website and she makes it.
Whose wife?
Yes. After all, the man has promised the money.
Who has?
Absolutely.
All I'm trying to find out is what is the name of the Kohen?
No, 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 no. What is a Levi?
I'm not asking you who's a Levi.
Who is a Kohen?
Look, I know the shul has other members.
Oh, absolutely.
And the guy sitting near the windows?
Why?
I don't know, I just thought I'd ask.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me, who's sitting near the windows?
Who is a Kohen?
Stay away from the aliyahs. The guy by the window's name.
Why?
Because.
Oh, he sits by the far wall.
Wait a minute. Do you have someone who makes cholent?
Now, wouldn't this be a fine shul without a cholent?
Okay, tell me the cholent maker's name.
Tomorrow.
Okay. There's only one Kohen in shul, and I give the aliyah to who?
Yeah, that's correct. Who is the Kohen?
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Now, don't get excited. Take it easy.
Okay, so I give the aliyah to who, then after who, I give the second aliyah to what, and the third aliyah to I don't know. If the Kohen makes a donation, who pays the money? What can't be called first, and neither can I don't know.
Right, you've got it.
And the fourth guy to get called up?
Because.
Why? I don't know, and I don't care.
What was that?
I said I don't care.
Oh, that's our scholar in residence for next week.
Well, we'd like to take this opportunity to call up someone to the podium, someone who actually knows everyone's name in Shul, someone who actually doesn't need an introduction, our Morid Asra, the Rabbi of the Shul, Rabbi Aryeh Rodin, to give a Dvar Torah. Thank you, Rabbi Rodin.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the seminal events in the history of humanity occurred when Moshe Rabbeinu encountered the burning bush. This coming week on Shabbos, shuls around the world will be reading about the description of this very special event. Moshe Rabbeinu was shepherding the sheep of his father-in-law Yisro, when all of a sudden he saw a bush that was engulfed in flames, but it wasn't being consumed. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, Asura na ve'era. Let me go out of my way and see, investigate. Madua lo yivar hasneh. Why is it that the bush is not being consumed? Yalkut Shmoni, one of the commentaries, tells us. Omar Rabbi Yochanan says, Moshe Rabbeinu took 3 steps out of his way. Hashem saw this and said, Nitzta'arta, you troubled yourself. Chayecha sha'agala alecha. I will go ahead and reveal myself to you, Moshe. And the rest is history. Rabbi Moshe Chait, Zatzal, made the following inference from this Yalkut Shmoni. He said, what would have happened if Moshe Rabbeinu was walking and saw this spectacle, but said, you know what, I'm too busy. I have too many things on my agenda. I don't have time to investigate. Or if Moshe Rabbeinu said, that's interesting, but I have already charted a path that I want to pursue. I don't have the time, I don't have the energy to investigate. So Rabbi Chait answers by inference. You know what would have happened? Moshe Rabbeinu, who accomplished unparalleled feats of achievement, who was the one that emerged as the leader par excellence of Klal Yisrael, who led the Jewish people out of Mitzrayim, initiated the 10 plagues, went and split the sea, went up to heaven and learned Torah from God himself, brought down the 10 commandments, and wrote, as dictated to him by God himself, the entire Torah. These stellar, unique accomplishments. If he would have seen the snare, burning bush, and kept on walking instead of investigating, then Moshe Rabbeinu would have walked on into oblivion, and we never would have heard of Moshe Rabbeinu. Somebody else would have stepped forward. Maybe a Baruch Rabbeinu. Maybe a Shimon Rabbeinu. Maybe an Aryeh Rabbeinu. How many Moshe Rabbeinus are in this room? How many Mrs. Moshe Rabbeinus are here? Each and every one of us have our own burning bushes that God sends us. God loves us, and he wants to show us the way to go. So we have opportunities that Hashem gives us. Tonight, we are going ahead to honor 5 individuals who are offered the position of being the president of a shul who was dedicated and is dedicated to exposing rather than imposing the beauty, the sanctity, the purity of Judaism, Yiddishkeit, to our fellow brothers and sisters. Each one, if you ask them, they didn't think they would ever become a president of a shul. They didn't think they would ever become an individual to give so much time and effort. But these individuals stepped forward. A Suran of error. Let me go out of my way and investigate what this offer is all about. So we're here to honor Ted Fishman, Michael Allen, Don Bernstein, Jackson Solaski, and Ivan Sachs. And I applaud them for what stepping forward after saying, Asurana, let me investigate. But of course, they couldn't have done it. And they couldn't have accomplished what they did unless they had the support of their wives. So I'd like to say to Chana Fishman, to Debbie Allen, Charlotte Bernstein, Beverly Solaski, and Melanie Sachs, thank you very much. Look around at this beautiful room. The beautiful hors d'oeuvres, the tasty hors d'oeuvres, the decor, our giving tree, the beautiful menu, the food that is being prepared, and all the invitations and all that goes into making a dinner. So many moving parts. And once again, I applaud all those individuals, volunteers. Nobody's on the payroll, for giving their heart, for doing it with love, and making sure that we should have such a spectacular 30th anniversary dinner. Thank you very much. And finally, I'd like to applaud one more individual. A little over 30 years ago, a starry-eyed rabbi who had just completed, not that long before, Smicha's ordination, comes home one day and tells his wife, how would you like to move to Dallas, Texas? You have to understand, this woman with 4 little children comes from Brooklyn, New York. 30 years ago, to come to Dallas, Texas, she had to move away from her parents, brothers, sisters, to come to a land, to come to a piece of property that we had no yeshiva at that time. We had no Eruv. There was only one Orthodox shul at that time. We didn't even have a pizza place that's kosher. And this young woman looked at this rabbi and said, let's do it for 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, every year we would speak this young woman, the rabbi, and she would say, okay, 1 more year. The years have added up, and I'm happy to say that this young woman is my wife, the Rebbitzin of our shul, Rebbitzin Henny Roden. When preparing the speech, I'd be happy to sing her praises. But my Rosh Hashiva, my Rebbe Zatzal said, when husband and wife marry, they become one. So it's a little uncomfortable to go ahead and to praise your spouse, because in a sense you're praising yourself. So all I can say is, thank you to my wife. I'm eternally grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a night of celebration. It's a night of Hakaras Hatov, recognition to so many people, some that we mentioned, and everybody from the beginning years and throughout the years who walked through the doors of the shul, who came to the classes, who were an inspiration to my wife and myself and my children, recognizing them and thanking them. It's also a time at this dinner to act as a springboard, to be sensitive. And thank you, Hashem, for planting within us Yiddishkeit, to recognize the different springboards, the burning bushes that are placed to each and every one of us, to recognize them and then hopefully to respond in the affirmative, thereby ensuring that our destiny will be for eternity. Have a good night.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming this evening to our 30th anniversary gala. I want to personally thank the honorees for their hard work and dedication through the years, Rabbi and Rebbetzin Roden for building such a warm, friendly, and torrid community, and to Marcy Rhodes and her fantastic dinner committee team for putting in all that sweat equity they've contributed these past few months to put together such a beautiful affair. Thank you. You know, we've just viewed a moving retrospective in the last 30 years at Ohev Shalom from many of the people who've been here since the beginning, and others like myself who've moved to Ohev community more recently. However, the single thread that binds all of us is the dream, call it a vision, for the future to make Ohev Shalom even bigger and better. With this goal in mind, we have begun to set out our Vision 2020, our hopes and dreams for the future. In Jewish thought, a chazon, or a vision, is usually ascribed to a navi, a prophet. The Rambam describes a navi's vision in Mishnah Torah, Yesodei HaTorah, Perek Zayin, Halacha Gimel as follows. The words that Hashem makes known to the navi in a vision is through a mashal, an allegory. And the solution, the nimshal, is immediately inscribed on the heart of the navi in his vision, and he understands it immediately. For example, the vision that Yaakov Avinu had in his dream of the angels in the ladder, he knew the meaning was regarding the different kingdoms which subjugate Klal Yisrael through the years. So too, our vision here at Ohev Shalom has begun as a mashal, a dream, slightly ambiguous, not completely formed, yet we also know the solution. Our amazing community and congregation members who dedicate their time, wisdom, and money to make these visions a true reality. At this point, I'd like to introduce Larry Strauss, who will be presenting some investment opportunities to kickstart our Vision 2020 building campaign. Mazel tov, and thank you.
I'm very honored to be here tonight. I do auctions all over the city, and I have a new name for the auction now, thanks to Rabbi Roden. We call them investment opportunities. I have a lot in common with Ohev. You're celebrating your 30th birthday. I'm celebrating my 30th birthday. I just had a 40-year head start. Before we start the auction, and we're auctioning off items that are desperately needed by Ohev, by a show of hands, how many people live in the Metroplex? Would you raise your hands? Great. If you leave your hands up, we'll have a great auction. When I auction off the items, if you raise your hand, one of the spotters will come by and you can fill out a building sheet. The first item that we have, ladies and gentlemen, and they're kicking off their Vision 2020 building campaign. And who would like to be the first person to kick it off with a donation for the Vision 2020? Is there anybody here that would like to make a contribution to kick off the 2020 vision for your new facilities? Right here, thank you. Would you, we'd like to have $5,000. Would that be okay? Yeah. Great, $5,000 right here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. We have one person, he doesn't want to be by himself. Is there a second person who would like to make a contribution? The whole table is doing the contribution. Thank you very, very much. The cards are on the table with the auction items. I scared 9 people at that table. Is there anybody else who would like to make a donation for the Vision 2020? It doesn't have to be $5,000. Anything. $1,000. Would anybody like to donate $1,000 for the Vision 2020? Right here, do we have someone? Raise your hand, please. We have a person there. We have another person. We have 2. Would somebody else like to donate money, at least $1,000 minimum, for the Vision 2020 campaign? We have 3 people. We have another person. Ma'am, would you hold your hand up? We have another person there for the Vision 2020. We may get the new synagogue built tonight. Is there anybody else? A 6th person? Do we have anybody else? We have the 6th person right here. Right here, thank you. Spotters right here. Anybody else? We're honored. 7 people so far. This is a great kickoff. Anybody else before we move to the next item? Those that started the Vision 2020, let's give them an applause. Thank you very, very much. The next item, ladies and gentlemen, is paying off your line of credit. The only debt that Ohev has is $10,500. The gentleman who signed for the line of credit is sitting at his table praying that someone will donate. It's $10,500. Would somebody like to pay off the debt of Ohev Shalom? They'd like to at least reduce it to $10,000. Would anybody like to donate $500 to Lord? Thank you very much. Thank you. Now that we have the debt down to $10,000, they'd like to take it down to single digit. Would you? How much? $1,500. Thank you. That takes the debt down to $8,500. Would anybody like to continue the donations to bring the debt down even further? We have it down to $8,500. Would somebody like to donate $500 to bring it down to $8,000? $500 to at least bring it down to $8,000. We have one. Thank you very much. That's $8,000. Would anybody like to bring it down another $1,000? Make it $7,000. We have a great start tonight. $7,000 and your debt's wiped out. Would anybody else like to donate $500 to bring it down? Anyone else? We'd like to thank those that donated the money to bring the debt down considerably. Thank you. The other item that they need now is a new fence, a complete new fence. It's $4,000. What? I'm sorry? Another debt? How much? Thank you very, very much. That's wonderful. Thank you. We have the debt down to $6,000, and the gentleman who signed the line of credit is greatly relieved. They need a new back fence. Would anybody like to donate $4,000 for a brand new fence? If nobody wants to donate to $4,000, and I'm very serious, would somebody donate $1,000 to at least paint the fence? $1,000 to paint the back fence. $1,000, do I see a hand? At least to paint the back fence. Anybody? We like to sell every item. How about $500 and we get a deal on painting the fence? $500 to paint the fence. Anybody? $500? If you decide on donating for the fence, please fill out a donation card later. The next item is a swing set, a complete entertainment center for the kids in the back. We'd like to get this swing set and complete entertainment unit for the kids, your kids, that you bring to the synagogue for $3,000. Is there anybody who'd like to donate the complete entertainment center for the kids in the back? Can I have 2 people donate $1,500? If I have 2 people, do we have a hand? 2 people at $1,500, and we get entertainment centers for the kids. Do I have 1 person for $1,000? Would anybody like to donate $500 for a sandbox? $500 for a sandbox. How about $250 for the sand? We like to sell every item. Would somebody donate $500 to start a campaign to get an entertainment center for the kids? $500, anybody? Anybody? We have a hand. Thank you very much. At least we can start that. Thank you very, very much. Now this is a very important item we don't want to skip. The synagogue desperately needs a video projector and a sound system, so they don't have to borrow the sound system and the projector from other people. And this is vital, especially in study sessions. It's only $1,500, and this is an item we desperately need to get. Would somebody like to donate $1,500 for a projector and a sound system for the synagogue? This is critical. I'd like to have 3 people, $500 each, please. This sound system is desperately needed. Do I have 3 people at $500 each for the sound system for the synagogue? Do we have a person? Thank you very, very much. Is that, ma'am, is that the entire system or 500? The entire system. Thank you very, very much. That's an extremely important item, and thank you very much. The next item is to organize the kitchen. They need a pantry unit. Would anybody donate $500 for a pantry unit so the kitchen could be organized? We have a gentleman in the back. Sir, can you leave your hand up? Thank you very much. We have the pantry unit. Sir? Sir in the back. Sir? No, can I ask him a question? Sir, with the pantry unit, for an extra $100, would you buy us some dishes? Thank you. $600. Thank you. Extra dishes. Right now, we're almost at the end. The synagogue desperately needs 4 folding tables and the chairs to accommodate the folding tables. Cindy, thank you. It's $10,000. No, it's $1,000. Sydney Golden, thank you very much. The set of tables and the set of chairs. Would anybody else like to donate $1,000 for a set of tables and a set of chairs? How about a set of chairs for $500? A set of chairs? Do we have a hand? Thank you. For a set of chairs for $500. Would anybody else like to donate $500 for another set of chairs? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last item. The last item is window treatments for the social hall. The window treatments are $200 each. Would anybody like to donate $200? We have $200 right there. We have $200 right here. We need 10. We have another $200 right here. We need 6 more. Two window treatments for $400 right here. We have a hand there. We need 4 more window treatments, $200 each. We have another, thank you very much. Keep your hand up. Thank you. We need 3 more at $200. 3 more window treatments at $200. Does anybody else? Thank you. In honor of Marcy Rose, window treatments. Would you leave your hand up, spotters? We need 2 more, just 2 more, and I'm off the stage. 2 more, 2 more, $200 each. 2 more. If those filling out we have it? We have 2 or 1? 1. 1 more. That's all we need. 1 more. 1 more. We have it right here. 1 more. Thank you. We have the full window treatment. Ladies and gentlemen, as you fill out the forms, if you complete the forms, give them to the spotters, or if you complete the forms, give them to Marcella. We have 1 more item that's critical. The drinking fountain. The drinking fountain is 15 years old. It needs to be replaced. Would anybody like to donate $1,500 for the drinking fountain? A brand new drinking fountain. You know how desperately you need the drinking fountain. $1,500. I'll tell you what we'll do. Would anybody like to kick in $500 to buy bottled water for the year? $500 for bottled water, for a year's supply of bottled water. $500. Okay, a half a year for $250. Anybody for bottled water for $250? This drinking fountain is vital. If anybody would consider donating the drinking fountain, would they see Dr. Shafran, please, because this is desperately needed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and have a great birthday.
Can we have a big hand for Larry Strauss as the auctioneer? You know, Larry lives auctioning. Some people, when they sleep, they snore. Larry calls out auction prices. We're about to serve dinner. If you may already have dinner, but we'd just like to tell you a couple of more things. First of all, good news for Ian. We have good news and bad news about the 2020 campaign. The good news is we've actually collected all of the money for the 2020 campaign. The bad news is it's still in your pockets.
So the Gabbai approaches a guest in the shul, and he says, you know, I'd like to give you an aliyah. So what's your name? And the man answers, Rivka Bas Yaakov. So the Gabbai says, no, I need your name. And the man says, I told you, it's Rivka Bas Yaakov. And the Gabbai says, how can that be your name? And the man says, I've been having some serious financial difficulties lately, so now everything's in my wife's name. Bon appetit. Enjoy dinner.
Thank you, Larry. Early on in Ohev's history, Rabbi Rodin had approached the board of directors he wanted to buy a new synagogue chandelier. This was well before Larry Strauss's great ability to actually auction off a chandelier for the shul. So Rabbi Rodin's in with the board, arguing and pleading for well over an hour. But finally he sits down because he thinks he's failed. And then the president, who will go unnamed at the time, stands up and says, why are we wasting all our time talking? First of all, chandelier. Nobody can spell it. Second of all, nobody can play it. And third of all, what the shul really needs is a new light. Enjoy your dinner.
One Saturday morning, it was Shabbos morning, and the mother went in to wake her son and tell him that it was time to get ready to go to shul. To which he replied,
I'm not going.
Why not? She asked.
I'll give you two good reasons. One, they don't like me, and two, I don't like them.
And the mother replied, I'll give you two good reasons why you should go to shul. One, you're 54 years old, and two, you're the rabbi.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again Rabbi Rodin to present the awards to our honorees. Thank you.
For our first award, we'd like to call up Ted Fishman, our first president. I'm sorry. Our award, the 30th Ohev, celebrating 30 years, presented to Ted Fishman in recognition of being the Nachshon, the first president of our shul, and helping transform our fledgling organization into a viable Torah entity. January 15, 2017, 18th of Teves, 5777. Mazel tov. Our second president, Michael Allen. The 30th annual Ohev Gala dinner celebrating 30 years, presented to Michael Allen, our second president, who led by example and showed what can be accomplished when one acts with sincerity and integrity. January 15, 2017, 18th of Teves, 5777. Mazel tov. Our third president, calling up Don Bernstein. Doc. Ohev Shalom, celebrating 30 years, presented to Don Bernstein, our third president, a visionary who realized the necessity of our shul owning its own facility and was the driving force behind acquiring it. January 15, 2017, 18 Teves 5777. Mazel tov. Could you get a picture back over there? Yehuda? Our fourth president, call upon Jackson Selasky. Our fourth, Jackson Selasky, our fourth president, 30th annual dinner. When something needs to be done, Jackson Selasky is our go-to man. His many talents, pleasant demeanor, and southern twang belovedly earns him the moniker Action Jackson. January 15, 2017, 18th of Teves. Mazel tov. And for our fifth past president, I'd like to call upon Ivan Sachs. Ivan, sit over here. The 30th annual dinner of Shalom presented to Ivan Sachs, our fifth president. Our longest serving president, 12 years. The consummate innovator and motivator, Ivan transforms Torah lessons from the theoretical to the practical. Ivan is a president's president. January 15, 2017, 18th of Teves, 5777. Go over there. You stand over here. First, I have all our presidents.
So, an American doctor says, medicine in my country is so advanced that we can take the kidney out of one man, put it in another, and have him looking for work in 6 weeks. A British doctor says, oh, that's nothing. We can take a lung out of one person, we can put it in another, and we can have him looking for work in 4 weeks. The Canadian doctor says, well, in my country, medicine is so advanced, that we can take half the heart out of one person and put it in another, and we can have them both looking for work in 2 weeks. And the South African doctor says, not to be outdone, says, Ish, you guys are way behind. We took a man with no brain, made him president, and now the whole country is looking for work.
The next speaker speaks for himself, literally. Please welcome Ohev Shalom's own rock star, Ivan Sachs.
Yes.
There's a few empty spaces, and I'm wondering who they are, who didn't come tonight. But I'm happy they didn't see me on the video, because I realized when I was on the video a little how under the weather I looked. And I'm a little under the weather tonight as well, but I'm overwhelmed and overjoyed by the celebration of our 30th year as a shul. I was fortunate enough to be around the shul right from the beginning, but as you saw, I wasn't the action man or the point man, the person that originated the leadership. It's phenomenal to have watched Ted, Mike, Don, and Jackson all lead in such special ways. Each one of them deserves tremendous credit. And when I think of each of the functions that we have at our shul, it's never mentioned that there was a guy, Ted Fishman, or that there was a guy, Mike Allen, or that there was a guy, Don Bernstein, or that there was Action Jackson, that created such opportunities for all of us. The shul, as we celebrate, always is celebrated because we got to a milestone. But believe you me, going through those milestones, it wasn't always smooth. We have a tremendous chorus tov to Rabbi Roden, who I have personally had the good fortune of knowing for the full 30 years plus. It's been an incredible journey, and I can tell you something now. The closer I get to Rabbi Roden and to the Rebbitzin and to their family, the more I respect them on a daily basis. They surprise me still. It's not like a relationship in which, oh, I know what he's going to do. But I do know what he's going to do is going to be right. And it's not going to be emotional. And it's going to be according to Das Torah. There's been many obstacles in the way, many challenges in the way. He's been challenged in so many ways. And what I admire about Rabbi Roden and the Rebbitzin is that they will stick to Das Torah. The little details, how many calls I can imagine. I would love to have a recording of the times that he's called Rabbi first, or other posuk, just to be able to get a detail that you would think, I could have ruled on that. Anyone in the shul could have ruled on that. What's he calling Rabbi first for? You know, why do you refer to the Rosh Hashiva the whole time? The utmost respect Rabbi Roden gives to every single human being. The people in the congregation and through the years that he gives honor and respect and time for is not for the wealthiest of the people, not for the poorest of the people, but because they are a Yid. And no matter who is a Yid, they know that they have Rabbi Roden at their back. If I had to go into battle, I couldn't wish for a finer rabbi and Rebbitzin and their family to be at my back. It goes to say, I mean, it has been a pretty challenging journey for myself, 10 years of cancer, and to have had Rabbi Roden himself come accompany me many of the times to my doctor's appointments is remarkable. Who would you ask to come with you on your appointment? Would you ask your rabbi? Who's going to ask, does he have to fast? You know, like, I mean, I'm dying, but like, would he need to fast if he took his tablets, you know, this way or that way? Could he fast? And I'm praying, please Hashem, I have to fast. No fast. And so all the questions were done right and properly. And then obviously I had the accompaniment of Rabbi Kaufman as well. The thanks for the shul is a huge part. Well, it's not a huge part. It is my life. It's the life of our family. Our family is the shul. I'm so honored to have my children here tonight, as is Mike Allen, to have his children here tonight. To have Talia, Liat, and Gal, and Jethro, and everyone tonight makes my night, you cannot believe, in an immense way. Liat, by the way, said to me, Dad, why don't you just make an announcement? She was joking to me. I'm fine. If anyone's asking me how I'm doing, just say, yes, she's fine. You don't have to ask her how she's doing. She's fine. Thank God you're here tonight, Liat. We really are happy here. The angel in the background, of course, and I shouldn't be speaking more about my family, but the angel in the background has been my wife, who has put up with me a lot of the time. I personally want to thank Rabbi Daniel Ringelheim for, we were going to go through a divorce because I was so involved with the shul and the yeshiva, and my wife said she's going to walk out and she's going to get a divorce, and I think Danny Ringelheim said, so you're going to file for divorce, and what's going to be your cause? He wasn't at home, he was at the yeshiva. So I want to thank Rabbi Ringelheim. Having said all of that, the shul plays an immense part. It's a tapestry. Every single person, I know I've used the term before, tapestry, but every single person that's come to the shul, left the shul, fought with me, not fought with me, fought with the rabbi, not fought with the rabbi, joined in with us, danced with us, everyone has made up the history of our shul and the makings of our shul. Because every step of the way, when we've had a hiccup, when things have been difficult, that's when you really see who the people are and how Judaism assists you and guides you to go through all those particular missions. All of our presence and all the people of our shul are of tremendous support. I can tell you now, again on a personal note, but I could never have got through what I went through without the love and support of the shul. Right now, what Shoshana Roden has done with all the ladies in here and out here with the starting of Tehillim has been amazing. I've never seen such women of fire, with fire on their lips the whole time. The number of Tehillim, I mean, how many times have Tehillim been read? 24 times. And how many days? 22. So the book of Tehillim has been read more than once every day. And really a remarkable achievement. And people are very excited about it. The thing that I really want to just make mention, of course, are some very, very special people here tonight. But I do want to mention one thing, how proud I am to be Jewish. The idea of not having had the education, the support, and the infrastructure of Ohev Shalom would never have been able to give me or my family, or for all of us, the incredible teaching and to be proud of being Jewish. I think I may have mentioned it before. I'll mention it again for those that didn't hear. I came back from Baltimore, and I was sitting next to a non-Jewish guy who was studying his Bible, and I sat next to a non-Jewish woman on the other side. I was in the middle. And I said to you, I'm going to tell you something really strange. So her ears perked up. I paused for a second, because I thought, should I say it? And I said it. You know, I'm really proud to be Jewish. She says to me, well, I'm Christian. That's okay, I said. I'm just proud to be Jewish. I just experienced the most incredible love and support of so many people in Baltimore in the Jewish community. And all I can say is, thank you, Hashem, for having made me and made us Jews. And hopefully we'll get to know more about it, that we can love it more. Now we come to the point, the amount of detail, the amount of effort that has gone into this dinner tonight. In every dinner, there's always preparation. And everyone just arrives, and someone might not be sitting in the right seats. The food may have been a little bit too good, or whatever the case is. All of that effort, there's tremendous work that has been done by Ben and Melissa Kurtzer. They went overboard. You know, it's like some people are just like crazy, and they've been crazily in love with this particular event, and they cannot get enough thanks. And they're not the older crew, but the newer crew, in a way, is Avi and Grossman. Avi and, I call it Julia, but it's Toby Grossman. They too went overboard. Nothing was an effort. I was not involved with this dinner at all, other than arriving tonight. And it's immaculate. It's impeccable. There's nothing that I can see that isn't a Kiddush Hashem. So for them, as at the start and the head of what you've done, really, thank you, and thank you. A person that really inspires us all, and certainly inspires me every time I see her and her family, is Sharon Michaels. When she arrived in Dallas, she was on Radio Disney and making everyone so happy on Radio Disney. Since she's been in our territory, we have Disney every day, and we are as happy as anything to have Charles and Sharon Michaels leading the way in generosity, kindness, and in every way stepping forward. I absolutely loved, by the way, Ben and Larry's show that they did tonight. The camaraderie and the way that you put it together was just wonderful. And I'm trying to figure out the Cohen who that is, but I think it was just a joke. The other person, they say that dynamite comes in small packages. And it's not a dynamite, it's like a huge explosion. Huge explosion. And that is Marcy Rhodes. There's not a shadow of doubt, and I mean that sincerely, that when you see the building as it stands, on that architectural drawing outside there that it will be here. I have no doubt that it will be here. If Marcy Rhodes has anything to do with anything, you just wonder, where does she have like 72 hours in a day? How is it possible that she responds to everything and does everything? She is an architect, she is a mother, she is a wife, she's with the shul, she's with Chabad, she's with, where isn't she? So there's something about what we've got to figure out, is that she's got 72 hours in a day, and how do we get by with 24? We've got to speak to her. Marcy, Dale, really thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart and from all of our hearts for everything that you do for the shul and for inspiring us all with everything. You got your rock already, right? All of you are rock stars, and I cannot begin to tell you how everyone, I'm so grateful for. There's many faces that I haven't seen for many, many years, but we did start off in a small, humble way. All it takes is for somebody, we overuse words. Like Rabbi Roden always says, it was so funny listening to Mike Allen saying, like, when you're doing the conversion, he said, like, it's not so simple. You've got those same phrases, it's not so simple. It's, get involved, And sometimes we don't take the words because we've heard them and we don't hear them in a fresh way. But it really does mean for us to get through to the next 30 years and to really have a quantum leap forward means that each of us has to step up. Step up in a small way. Call Ian, call the members of the board and say, look, I'd like to do this. If you're not happy with something in the shul, you know the best person to tell? The best person to tell if you're unhappy with anything in the shul is yourself. And say, what am I going to do about that? I don't like the learning. Great. So what are you going to do about it? And you start and you step up. That's what I've seen in the example of the people that have led the shul all the way through. For me to have stood at the end and to have given this, I'm really grateful. I think any one of the presidents could have done it. I thank the community at large, those people that aren't even members of Ohev Shalom, and that have helped us along the way in our ups and our downs. And from now on, I'd just like to call upon Marcy Rhodes to, if you wouldn't mind, I'm sorry, yeah, to receive an award. This is the weirdest thing. I'm meant to give Marcy an award. It's an empty box.
Oh, good.
And all I see is some keys at the bottom. There's nothing in the box.
I got a car. A brand new car.
Seriously, Rabbi, genuine. All I can tell you is that Marcy deserves, it's priceless what she deserves, so we couldn't even buy it. Right, Rabbi?
That's right. Priceless. Oh, it's a brand new car.
That's a...
Or a used car, I don't know. What?
What did you want to say?
What? I'm supposed to say something? I had no idea that I was getting an award. Oh, here it is.
Thank you very much for producing it so quickly. Okay. Oi, oi, oi. This is a Star of Texas.
Wow.
Wow, this is beautiful. Different from all the other boxes. And it says over here, presented to Marcy Rhodes with boundless energy and sunny disposition, Marcy exudes a can-do attitude. As chair of the 30th annual Gala dinner, Marcy directed the committee with enthusiasm and love. January 15th, 2017, 18th of Taybez, 5777.
Thank you. It's actually pretty funny that they're giving me a Can-Do Spirit Award because actually that's the same award I got when I was working as an architecture firm. The Can-Do Spirit. I guess it must be true. I don't know. But I don't want to take too long, and I know we're all enjoying this dinner, and I'm really, really grateful to all my committee, and I apologize if I've yelled at anyone or pulled anyone's hair in the wrong place. And I'm really, truly grateful. I couldn't have done it without you guys, and this turned out to be a beautiful event, and very happy you guys are all here and celebrate with us, and maybe you have 30 more years. Thanks.
We've run out of jokes, so it must be the end of the program. But we would like to invite up to the podium or from his table, wherever, the Rosh Yeshiva of TTI, Texas Torah Institute, Rabbi Pach, to lead the benching, and then there'll be
Marv,
Marv.
outside in the lobby.
Thank you all for joining us for dinner this evening.
Thanks.